Good morning. So I'm Reed, back here at Orchestra Farm, and funny thing about this morning is I've actually already made a video for you back at my home. And as I mentioned in that video, I have now just dropped my daughter off at school. And this week I'm not bringing my youngest son to school. That'll start up next Thursday. And so I actually have a few extra minutes. So I'm walking around on Orchestra Farm. Isn't that fun? And what I am really excited about is a story called The Out of Time Tea House. And you might have said, I've never heard of this story. Unless, of course, you may have watched some video in the past where I talked about it for a moment. Because it's a story that I'm creating. And I'm going to tell this story on the 21st of this month, which is September 2025. And I will be recording that story with the hopes of, well, A, that the story is actually interesting to more than just me, and then turning it into some form of a book, utilizing the transcript of the video / audio to cultivate the story through. And for some people who know me, they realize that I actually love telling stories, and it's not blueberries. Often that there's a story that really wants to come through me. Although right now there's two of them, and this is the first, and the one that I'm focusing with. And this notion of, if you're not a storyteller, this might not make sense to you, but stories kind of like come in and they kind of take over my being and my presence. I guess I will not be harvesting elderberry tea. It looks like a bunch of them fell off. And so I've got this story in me that keeps, fascinating, popping up every now and then and taking over my, not only my attention, but even to some degrees like my body. And most of the time when I've told stories in the past, they're really of the moment. And so I can just surrender for a moment to the story and let it happen. But this story has been in the works now for almost 6 months. And I'm so thrilled to A, call together an audience, and B, let the story come through, and then see what kind of a life it wants to have. And it's, an epic fantasy tale. Now, look, these blueberries are so... Let's just look at those for a moment. Isn't that just fantastical? It makes me think, did the other ones too soon? Oh yeah, they just like fall off the plant. So good. And if you want to know more about all these kind of things that I'm up to, I invite you to go to my website, check out my events page, but also sign up for my newsletter so that way you can hear when my next album is coming out, which will be in October. I think around the 21st or so I'm going to release it. And there'll be some promotional short videos for it coming out soonish. And I'm really excited to kind of clear my deck of all these creative projects that have been brewing in me so that I can continue forward on to the next ones. There's a wonderful thing around finishing a project. Now, a lot of creative people, we get really excited for like the initial idea and then maybe like the first phase of the project. And then oftentimes what happens is, as the meat of the project needs to get done and requires that extra focus and attention, the enjoyment of the process can wane. And an interesting thing that I've discovered as a creative being is that by following through, making it through that portion and finishing the project, the next ones that come in are even more interesting. And so I encourage all of you out there, I'm going to be developing a creative workshop series. The first one's already present, called Grounding the Creative. I'll be offering that either in October or November. And the next one in the series is basically for finishing, developing the habits and practices to help you complete your projects. And when I say creative, I don't just mean like, oh, I'm an author, or I'm a painter, or I'm a musician, so on and such forth, sculptor, whatever the thing is. It can also be for like projects around your property. It can be for projects for your business. There's any number of things that we struggle to bring to full completion, and the benefit of bringing things to full completion, they're not on your list anymore. Now when we have our list clear, we can rest, actually, and then accomplish more things. So if you're interested in all that, come and let me know. Sign up for my newsletter, send me a message. That'd be great. With that, thanks for being with me today. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribing to this channel would be amazing. Thank you for everyone who's been doing that. Hi to all my new subscribers. And have too much fun.